Om Gyanatimmirandasya Gyananjana Shalakaya Chakshurumilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Siddhantotpalasaranitirasikam Hamsam Vilashatmakam Audaryakya Sudama Sevaka Danam Vishamba Bhakti Pradam Yajnayukti Vichakshanam Tvagavido Vaishishta Shaktya Sada Vandeham Tripurarinamaka Yakim Shri Bhakti Vedantinam Jai. Hello everyone. Today we will talk about our nervous system and how to befriend it so we can have a better sadhana. And this topic is closely connected to the controlling of the mind, the senses, and how to make it our friend and not him to be our enemy. I will start my class today with reading one verse from Bhagavad Gita, 6th chapter, verse 10, and the commentary of Guru Maharaj, because it's very close to the idea I would like to elaborate on today, and how it's really important to have more knowledge about our nervous system so that we can calm and rest a bit the mind. So here is this verse 10 of chapter 6. The yogi should always concentrate his mind on the self, remaining alone in a secluded place with mind and body controlled, free from desire and devoid of possessions. And the commentary of Guru Maharaj. In verse 10 through 13, Krishna explains how the yogi should sit for meditation. He should do so in a secluded Rahasi place, other than the fact that meditation itself involves entering the private hollow of the heart in utmost earnestness. The sense of this verse is that one should find a peaceful place, free from disruptive influences and conducive to spiritual practice. The yogi should be alone to tend to his mind with controlled senses. The mind must be free from distraction if one is to be successful in yoga. There are 5 mental planes or stages, only 2 of which are really conducive to yoga. Kshipta refers to the mental plane, in which under the influence of likes and dislikes, the mind becomes engrossed in material objects. Muda refers to mental drowsiness. Vikshipta refers to the restless condition of the mind. Ekagra refers to one-pointed concentration of the mind. Nirodha involves the restraint of thought altogether. The planes of Kshipta and Muda are governed by Tamaguna. They are not at all conducive to the culture of Yoga Samadhi. Vikshipta is the influence of Rajaguna. This restless condition of the mind allows one to experience occasional samadhi. In this mental plane, the restless mind that is preoccupied with sense objects can sometimes concentrate in meditation. However, this dhyana is short-lived. It is in the stage of ekagra when the guna of sattva predominates that the yoga practitioner can experience continued samadhi. This is known as samprajata samadhi, which Krishna is recommending the cultivation of here. In the mental stage of nirodha, all thought is restrained and one experiences asamprajata samadhi. This will be discussed later in the same chapter. One should practice meditation and bhajana with knowledge of these mental planes and judge one's success accordingly. So here the verse and Guru Maharaj stress that if we want to have a good sadhana and progress in our spiritual life, we need to make our mind our friend and have these higher mental planes on the stage of sattva and not to be on this planes which are governed by Tamaguna and Rajaguna. And in our contemporary context in which we live, it's a big issue for us to make the mind peaceful, because we live in times in which our attention span is getting shorter and shorter. There is some cognitive research that says that in the last 15 years, our attention span, the ability to focus our attention, has decreased in about 20%. And now it is like 8 seconds that we are able to concentrate, and then we get distracted. So how to conduct our spiritual practice and our sadhana when we are living in such a context with all the digital stuff, and everyone who is living in a city context which has its own agenda, so to say, and is provoking this tamastic and rajastic influence on us. It's very hard to be able to concentrate the mind and to be not in these planes of distraction. As here Guru Maharaj said, this kshipta muda, engrossed in material objects, drowsiness, this vikshipta, which is total restlessness. And also, to set a bit the setting, to set the stage, there are other interesting research from modern day neuroscience, which says that it's very hard to multitask, and that our mind is not meant to multitask. And this is very taking its chance, so to say. It's a bit ruining also our ability to be engaged in what we do. Because to be able to progress, we need to be emotionally engaged in our practice and to be able to be there, to be present. But when the mind is in these lower planes, in the influence of rajas and tamas, it's very hard to engage ourselves. This is like a modern day anartha, such a very subtle misbehavior that we are not able to engage. And in the modern day context, when we have like a lot of to-do lists, and when you live in the city, it's like from the beginning of the day through the end day, and if you are a grihasta or having also another job and many obligations, duties, we're constantly making it to one assignment, then to the other. We're constantly switching context. And this term, some neuroscience has coined it. And the idea is basically that our mind, our brain, is totally unable to refocus and to be able to be present in the task when there is switching of context. So, for example, if I'm trying to chant, if I'm trying to pray, to meditate, but at the same time I'm checking my phone, or maybe I have a phone call and I'm answering it, when I'm back to the context in which I was in the first place, back to my sadhana and to my process, it takes about 20-25 minutes. There's one research that says so, for the mind to be able to engage in the same way, to be really focused in the first task or the first thing that we were doing. So this constantly switching of context is totally decreasing our ability to be present and to dive deeper in what we are doing. Also, we are getting more and more cognitive impatient. This is another term from neuroscience. in cognitive research, we are unable to focus all together and to dive deep in a subject, and we are getting impatient. Our mind is so restless that we need to change. It needs variety, dynamic. It's totally unable to read one commentary of the Gita because it's getting annoyed from this whole details and all the details, all the subject. We're impatient and we want to skip to focus to read only the beginning and the end. For example, as we read some article on the harmonies, for example, and for us it's difficult to concentrate and to go slow and to read one sentence, the next, and more with this sense of wonder and presence, calmness. It's getting really hard. So in our modern day context, we have such conditions, cognitive impatience, we have this context switching because we are connected through devices like a what, and we're always looking at screens. We have this short attention span, which also is getting in the way. So in this modern day context, it's really hard to make the mind peaceful because the environment is totally making us in this rajasic state, this state of vikshipta, in which we're restless. So how to be able to calm the mind, to have this better sadhana? And as Guru Maharaj says here in the commentary, that one should practice meditation and bhajana with knowledge of these mental planes and judge one's success accordingly. So to be able to calm the mind from a perspective of also modern day psychology and neuroscience, we need to address the state in which is our nervous system. Our nervous system is, we know that it governs all the processes and fight, flight, freeze, the stress response. And here is something very important. We know that from our yoga practice, we know that our mind is governed by the senses, but also these senses are the nervous system, which is communicating. And when our nervous system is agitated, when it is not in this rest and digest state in which we are really calm, but for example, if our nervous system is activated and is in this stress response, in this fight and flight mode, then automatically also our mind becomes very restless. So the mind and its movements is totally connected also to the state in which is our body, the body and nervous system as a whole. And this is why there is one saying nowadays in the psychological community that the body keeps the score. When in the body is a lot of stress, trauma, emotional pain, some suppressed feelings, this is making the environment, our environment, the first environment in which we live, our habitat, a place of restlessness. It's hectic, agitated, or we are numb. And our nervous system has this mainly three modes, which are very connected to the idea of tamas, rajas, and sattva. The influence is very good seen in the different stages of our nervous system. The first stage, when we are at peace, when we feel in rest, we're focused, we're calm. It's like the sattva. When we are in this fight and flight mode, agitated, restless, we want to move, we have this impulse, this is more rajasic. And when we are numb, when we feel this drowsiness, or we're very having fatigue and like this, it's very tamastic. And to be able to calm the mind, we need also to have knowledge and know how to regulate our nervous system. And when we regulate the nervous system, directly it influences our mind and its ability to be present, the waves of the lake of the mind to be able to be cleared and to be calm. But why our nervous system is so much agitated? Also in this context in which we are living, as a bit of my previous month class discussed about the emotional pain and how we have like suppressed wounds in ourselves. This is one reason why our nervous system can be in this state. Because if we have a lot of repressed anger, sadness, feelings, emotions, this is making the body very agitated. This is like energy blockages in the whole body, which make the nervous system be in this state of constant fight, flight, or freeze, this lower, more, we can say a bit like tamastic state, where also this drowsiness comes. If one suffers more of anxiety, fear, the nervous system goes also in this freeze mode, which is very, this drowsiness, fatigue, or such a restlessness that totally one cannot, maybe cannot sit. As Guru Maharaj says, we need to walk the talk and we need to be able to walk in the right way so we can be able to sit down and to meditate. But when we are in this state of nervous system activation, agitated, it's very hard to sit down and to focus, to pray, to meditate. So if you feel a bit of feel these symptoms, this restlessness, agitation in your day, you feel that when you start to chant or just try to listen to a class or try to read something, you feel that your mind is totally out of place and you feel some stubbornness, numbness, or you feel agitation in your body. This may mean that the nervous system is activated and needs regulation. If we try only with willpower to concentrate, to focus, just like be more powerful than our mind and try to press it down and okay, be here now, concentrate, try to be here, read, listen, chant. This hardly works. It doesn't work good because our body needs something to be able to switch the mode. And when we try to fight it, when we try to fight the mind, try to fight our nervous system, to fight it to calmness, it won't happen because this makes more stress. We are getting fixed, or we are trapped because we try by force to make our mind to concentrate, but this makes the inner conflict bigger because we are adding more stress to what we are feeling, to what we are experiencing in the body. So one reason for this nervous system agitation, and for the nervous system to be in fight, flight, freeze constantly, may be such issues like emotional pain, suppressed feelings, some inner conflict, or some outer conflict that is taking its hold on us. And one other reason for this state can be constant busyness. If we are from the beginning of the day through the whole day till the night in constant to-do lists, we have assignments, one task, then we go to the other task, and also, as I said, this context switching. Constantly we're doing one thing, checking for other thing. This makes a stressful event, a constant stressful event for us. Our whole day becomes one big round of assignment, to-do list, task. And this makes our nervous system active the whole day. And sometimes in the name of being disciplined, to be able to get everything done, to be able to make our normal day activities and also our sadhana, we can make very strict regime for us, very strict plan for the day. And if our nervous system, our body doesn't have the right amount of pauses, the right amount of being just able to stop for a moment, to breathe, to be able a bit to switch in these calmer states, to get to the mode of rest and digest. This is also in the, maybe if we're like this for some time, and most of us maybe are hitting a row of years in this constant busyness, in a hurry. This hustle culture maybe also impacts our way of doing sadhana, and we have this hustle mentality also to do everything the right way. But this can exhaust our nervous system, body, and when this happens, we are in a constant agitated state. Our nervous system starts to be constantly in this mode of agitation, keeping from 1 to 10. If 10 is the biggest activation and stress, we keep like score 3, 4 on a regular basis. Maybe I'm doing something not so stressful, but I feel that my mind, shoulders, stomach, they are like this stuff, and we feel that our muscles are tense. And this is a symptom that we are already in this state. And from this state, it's totally normal that our mind will be more restless. This is like, as we said, senses, nervous system, mind. And when the nervous system is totally in this agitation, it's normal that our mind will be more agitated. And why is this happening? Because when we're feeling this stress and agitation in the body, stress mainly is that our mind, our brain, the inner detectors feel that we are at risk, maybe that we are in some danger, that maybe something is happening, we have some situation that needs more resources, that we don't have the right amount of resources to go through the situation. And this is why our body goes into stress mode to mobilize us. This mobilization helps to make more power, so we have more energy to do the task. But if we're in this constant state, our brain mind start to think that we are in constant danger, because the mind detects that the body is in this state of agitation, that something is not okay. And then the mind starts to focus what is not okay and starts to overthink. And when we are in this state of wrong to-do list without these pauses to be able to recalibrate, to ground ourselves, our mind is restless because it wants to find a solution why we're in this stress. But when there is no one situation that is making us stressed, but it's like the whole lifestyle that we're living, the whole environment in which we live, with these things that I said, the busyness, always in the run, in a hurry, then our mind overthinks. And when we want to concentrate in our sadhana, to read something, to hear something, our mind starts to think of the other issues, problems, because it wants to find a solution, to think it through, so it's able to calm the nervous system. The mind wants to find a solution and to say to the body, okay, I found it. So now we can rest, we can turn off this mode. But this won't happen, doesn't happen, and our mind continues to be in that way. And if we don't have this knowledge and this awareness of this connection between our nervous system and our mind, we can feel very nervous, or we can start to be less enthusiastic, or to be in a worry what is happening, or what is the problem, why I don't fix the mind. And in this way, as I said, we can start to add more stress, because we are making this we are making more and more fighting, we are making more stress because I push more. Okay, something isn't wrong. So my mind already thinks that something is not okay because the body gives this signal. And then I consciously say that there's another thing that is not okay. My mind cannot fix itself. It's not calm. And this makes the issue bigger, and we are adding on one layer, next layer, and this makes our nervous system even more chaotic, in a way more agitated, more activated. And if we start to regulate our nervous system and be more aware of these processes, we can be more present, we can again start to engage more, to be able to dive more in the process, in hearing, in reading, in chanting, to be able to pray with deep sense and more emotionally connected. Because when our nervous system is always in this agitation, when time passes, we start to be more numb. Okay, I can hear something, I can see something, but we're like dissociated from the things that we're hearing, from the things that are happening, because we're getting numb for this, because we are so tense in the body. And this dissociation also makes us more emotionally closed, emotionally not present. We don't have the emotional space to be able to dive in the sadhana. We can practice or try to practice, but it will be more in a superficial way, because this is the next task on the to-do list. And I'm only in this hurry, busyness. My nervous system is totally on like going through it, and we are in this automatic mode. So in this state, we don't have the possibility and the emotional space. So what can we do to change this? How can we befriend our nervous system to have a better sadhana and to calm the mind? We need to understand this idea, as I said, that when we're in these states of activation, the nervous system, the mind, brain, body, they sense that we are in danger. Because we have perception, which is the ability to perceive things from the outer environment, to perceive, but we have also interoception, which means the ability to sense the feelings, the sensations in our body. And we have also neuroperception, which are the subtle ways and the subtle detectors of our brain nervous system that are constantly looking if there is danger in the environment, if we're safe here. Our body, on the most basic instinctive level, is always searching, looking, trying to answer, am I safe now? And when we're in this constant stress, fight, flight, freeze, regardless of maybe from emotional pain, suppressed emotions, or from this constant hurry and to-do lists, our body senses that we're not safe, that we're in danger, that something is not okay. And to be able to calm the nervous system, on one basic level, we need to find safety. We need to feel secure. This is like the instinctive desire of our material conditioning. We want to be safe because we identify with the body, we are mortal, and we live in this fear and anxiety that something can happen. And we know that in this world things happen. And when we already have lost this sense of secureness, of being protected, being safe, it can be hard to regulate the nervous system, and as a consequence, also very hard to concentrate, to calm down the mind. Because if our body thinks and feels that we are not safe, that we are in danger, then the mind becomes agitated, and in this constant, it is in this constant process of trying to figure out what is happening and how to fix it, how to feel safe again, and this overthinking comes. So we need to feel safe. We need to feel again secure, but this is not something only on the mental plane. We don't need the idea that I'm safe, because maybe I can try to say to myself, okay, I'm a spiritual soul, I'm immortal, this is only a movie here, I'm like only watching it, okay, nothing is happening to me. But these mental ideas won't provide safety for the body. The body will continue to have this feeling, because we need not theoretical knowledge, we need to feel it. We need some experience for this. So to have our need nourished and to refill this inner tank of safety and the body to be able to calm down, to answer to the question, okay, now here I'm safe, I'm not in danger, so I can switch the nervous system to the other mode, more sattvic, to be able to go a bit more to this ekagra state, one-pointed concentration. mm, we need to feel this safety in the body. And it's very inspirational, and it can also make our enthusiasm go bigger, because we as devotees and trying to practice and to have sadhana, our sadhana can be the means to feel this secure feeling inside, this sensation that I'm safe. And in that way, we can make the whole process of regulation, regulating the nervous system, something that is beneficial to our progress, not only to have jacuzzi for our body so that it can feel safe, but we can add some more focus on this detail, and doing our sadhana, doing our spiritual practices, we can read, hear classes, we can meditate and pray, but connecting this need, trying to nourish this need of safety, to be safe by doing our sadhana. And how we can do this? We can try to be more able to set this goal. For example, when I pray, I can be a bit more focused also what is happening in my body, to try a bit more to ease the shoulders, to breathe a bit, to make 2-3 deeper breaths with longer exhales, because when we exhale, this is the way we activate the branch of the nervous system which is connected to switching the modes and go to this more calm, peaceful state. When I try to listen to a class of Guru Maharaj, for example, I can try to be more present and to hear his voice, to be there and to see how his voice is making me feel inside. Maybe I can remember one other memory with him or something like this. When I'm offering the food or I'm preparing food for someone, I can try to be there and engage the senses more, touching, seeing, connecting to the idea what I'm doing now, for whom I'm doing it, and that it's a playful, it's joyful activity, and that here in the moment I'm safe. And this can sound like normal stuff, or that it's common sense, but actually it's very helpful to connect the ideals of safety to the activities we are doing. If I connect my body when I'm chanting and really try to feel when I'm chanting how this impacts the feelings, the sensations in my body, this can make a change. This can make really to connect and my body to see, okay, really here I'm safe, and here is Krishna. Here is also the devotees. Guru Maharaj is here in this world. I'm connected to them. And if I feel that my body is not very receptive for these ideas, and I try to make it more peaceful and try to communicate to him that okay, you're now safe. Look, everything is safe here, but in a way it's not working. We need to be more specific. As our acharyas in songs and books, they explain sometimes how they talk to the mind. Mind, please chant the names of Hari. or oh mind, please. So we can engage in this conversation. We can say to our mind, to our body, okay, now you are safe here. Look, it's safe. We can orient ourselves in the environment to see maybe the altar, we can see our mawa, we can see some devotional images, or just to see the environment in the temple room or in our room, in our house temple. And then this connects our body more to this feeling of safety. Sometimes when I'm working with people which are which have been a lot in these restless states, if they try to calm the body and the mind, sometimes they're getting more nervous, they become more nervous. And sometimes this is because our nervous system, our brain, mind, for them, the idea to be calm, to rest, to be just okay here and now, it's totally unacceptable. Why? Because if I feel that I'm in danger, that I'm behind my everyday duties, that I'm behind my commitment for rounds or for the day, of rounds for the day, that I'm not doing the things that I should do, or maybe there's not enough time for doing everything. In this state, the idea just to calm down, to rest, to feel okay, here everything is okay, it's totally anti-illogical for the mind. Because if I'm in a hurry, if I feel that something important is happening or I haven't done something important, just to sit down and to calm down, it's illogical because I need to be mobilized. I need this mobilization to keep me going. I need to be tense. I need this activation to keep me moving. Or if already, because of the reasons I explained, our body is feeling in constant danger, it would be totally unacceptable just to rest and to feel okay. I'm here, everything is okay. Because for the body, for the mind, it's not okay. It's like putting our guard down if I try to calm. And that's why sometimes we need to explicitly to say to our body, to our mind, okay, you can rest now. I'm here. I will take care. Krishna is taking care. You can have this 10 minutes or 1 hour, and then we will do the other things. I will take care of you. You're safe here and now. Just be with me. Just be present. Please calm down for a bit. Put your guard down and let me protect you. Let Krishna protect us. And in that way, I don't know how it sounds to you, but the practice is really working, and we can feel that our body is responding. Sometimes we can also negotiate with our mind. If it's not okay to rest for 10 minutes or to be able to focus for 10 minutes to calm down, we can try to say to him, okay, is it okay for you, like for beginning, to try 1 minute to be focused in this thing, or for 1 minute, please feel that you're safe. Let the guard down and let me take care. And maybe 1 minute will be the beginning, and we can feel that our body is saying, okay, I'm okay with that, and I'm happy with that. For me, it's okay. Let me be, we can make it like this. And in that way, we can start to have a better relationship with our mind and body and to regulate our nervous system. We can also think of other rituals, how during our sadhana we can make our nervous system calmer, how to regulate it, how to nourish this need for safety in the body, how to feel that Krishna is our protector, maintainer. Maybe we can try to have like everyday reminders for that. Just to try to sit for 5 minutes and to think of the many situations in which Krishna has helped us, many how we can feel that the devotees are maintaining us and contributing this nest that is holding us, this connection that we are feeling, to pause and to feel this joy that we have Guru Maharaj in our lives. And that way, as I said, this material need coming from our material identification with the body and its fear that it's not safe here, we can connect it to our devotional life and to be nourishing also our serving identity, our spiritual identity. We can think also for our ways how to nourish this need in a devotional way. But maybe it would be important for it to be like a goal and try to see how our body is responding. This is the most important part, that it's not only a mental exercise. Okay, I'm thinking that Krishna is my protector. No, let me dive a bit in this. Let me think of the many situations in my life, or the sweet interactions between devotees, or in serving, and the joy I felt. And let this be the food for our need of safety. And our body will respond. One of the ways our nervous systems get regulated is also by the voice, speaking or hearing. And for sure, we all have experienced when someone is talking, or for example, Guru Maharaj, when he's talking, and how only when you're maybe restless or going through stuff during the day, but if you put sometimes on only on the phone, like a class of Guru Maharaj, and when you hear his voice, and already you feel that something is happening in the body, that it's getting calmer, something is switching. Or when we listen to a kirtan and something is switching in the body, we feel this tension going away, we feel that something is releasing here. And that way, we are directly experiencing nervous system regulation. And the idea is to be conscious of this process and to try to utilize it, to make it everyday experience, to make more such anchors during the day when we doing our sadhana, going through tasks, be able to pause, to feel, to redirect the attention, to be able to engage in such thoughts, actions, images in the mind, or to engage our senses in these things that can regulate our nervous system. Also, yeah, like breathing, like longer exhales. Sometimes we can dance also in kirtan to be more playful during the day, to put some nice kirtan and to try to dive to that, to have 1-2 minutes of dancing, to chant. Maybe we can sometimes sing along, doing kirtan alone in our houses or with the spouse. Or these are all ways in which we can nourish the need of safety. As I said, this material need of the connected to our material identification, but in a way that this can help our sadhana and nourish it in a way that strengthens our faith and give us more resources, give us more strength, resilience. And yeah, basically this is what I wanted to share, the relation between our mind and nervous system and how we cannot calm the mind only with willpower, because that way mostly we are making it our enemy. Okay, why you don't calm now? I will make you calm, concentrate. But this is adding only another layer to the first layer, that our nervous system is feeling that we are not safe, something is not okay, not the right thing, it's not right, something, it's not okay, not going okay. And then I add only the second layer. Yes, not only that, but this is also not okay, and I want to control it, I want to fix it, but it's not happening. So we need a smarter approach. We need to know our need of the body, of the mind, safety, security, and try to add it in our everyday practice to nourish this need by thinking, by doing things, by meditating calm, by connecting our senses to things related to Krishna, Guru, and the devotees. And that way, our nervous system can be nourished in the most substantial way, connecting ourselves to the reservoir, to the fountain of security and safety, our spiritual life, and Krishna, Guru, and the devotees. And that way, we will feel that our mind, like by itself, it's starting to get more peaceful, more calm, not by our willpower, but by nourishing the need. And if you're feeling these symptoms, as here in the verse was said, these three mental planes, muda, drowsiness, kshipta, engrossed in the stuff of the everyday life, vikshipta, this restlessness. If we feel in constant hurry, that we are always behind the things that we are doing, if we feel that our mind is constantly overthinking something and we want to concentrate, but it goes to one second task. We feel tension in our shoulders, stomach, jaw, and all this is a symptom that we have this agitation in our nervous system, more tamastic, more adjustic influence, fight, flight, freeze. And to be able to overcome this, we need to regulate our nervous system. It won't happen by willpower or only trying to concentrate harder, or only trying on the mental plane to have more thoughts, because, as we said, the body keeps the score it needs something that can make them experience a sensation in the body. But it's so beneficial and mm, very nice that our sadhana, everything that we are doing, from hearing, chanting, singing, cooking, everything, this any of these activities is also nourishing for the body, nervous system, vagus nerve, which is this control center and device in the nervous system for switching from one state to the other. By chanting, it gets activated and regulates the nervous system. By hearing the nice voices of the devotees and Guru Maharaj, also it's calming down. And like this, we can nourish also our spiritual identity by strengthening our faith, by making this basic need of security and safety, which is giving us so much fear and anxiety when it's not nourished and filled. By this way, knowing these ideas, these concepts, we can feel it, this void inside, this void that we are not safe, and as a consequence of that, we feel fear, anxiety, and they are taking control of our mind. We can feel this need by our sadhana, and it happens more easily when we put this conscious effort by knowing this relationship with the nervous system and how to regulate it with the things we already do, but in a more focused way, and seeing how our body reacts and to communicate with it, to be able and to pay attention to the moments when we're hearing to a class and chanting and how our body is responding, and to say to it, okay, calm down, I'm here for you, Krishna is here for us, it will be safe, give me this 1 hour, give me these 10 minutes to finish my rounds and to pray more or to listen to this. Then I will take care of the other stuff. I'm here for you. Krishna is here for us. Take your guard down. Trust me. And try this out. Communicate with your body, with your mind. See how it goes. Contemplate, observe the different states of the mind, of your nervous system during the day, when it's in fight, flight, freeze, numbness, or more agitation, and try to focus on the need of safety in the ways we discussed, and see how, as a consequence of that, without fighting, the mind is getting calmer. Yes, cherishing sadhana more, really cherishing. There was some neuroscience that said that we need like 17 seconds to dive in some experience so that it can have impact and some feeling sensation in the body. So we need to dive more, to pay more attention, to connect the senses and to feel how our body reacts, to make 1, 2 bigger, longer exhales, and to see what is happening. Thank you for your attention. I hope that something will be helpful in the things I said. Vanchakauta Rubascha, Kripa Sindhu Beva Chapatita Nampavani Vaishnavega Namo Namaha.
Thank you so much, Prabhu. It was really it was really helpful for me to listen to this while I was painting, because I resonate with a lot that you were saying. You know how the mind is so restless, and it's like one task to another. I just want to get things done, but it really helped me just to like listen and paint and breathe, and it was really calming. So thank you.
Thank you for sharing. I'm happy that it had such an impact on you. And yeah.